Right, put these next two pieces on, okay, just so you don't have to look at the whole process. What we've got here is our last piece, okay, but it's not a full width, all right. I've measured it and it's about 420 millimeters from there to there. So to avoid me getting paste all over the dust sheet, all over the skirting, or even all over carpet or laminate, I'm going to cut this on the board. Okay, so if you come with me, I'll show you how to cut off a chunk of paper. So we can do it two ways. I can open it out and do smaller folds, but I'm not that bothered about it being that accurate. So what I'm going to do here is, got me cut edge right to the edge. I've got all my paper lined up nicely, so it's all against the edge. I've measured that gap at 420. I'm just going to put my ruler on there, pencil on there. I will do this in a separate demo as well. Right the way across. Right, that line is 420. Now it might be a bit tricky, but I'm going to cut through this. But I'm just going to go over the line because there'll be a bit of error, because it's not accurate enough. Okay, cutting like this. If it was a finished paper, I would never do it like this, but because it's a lining paper, I've done it. That piece there, don't throw away. I'm going to save that because I've got a long, thin piece to do down inside of the door frame. So that's my width. And just so you remember, put a cross on that side, put an arrow on that side. Reason being, you might not realise which way up it is, and try and put this cut edge against your edge, and it's not going to match, okay? So that way, you're going to definitely put it in the right place. So off we go again. Cameraman, don't fall over. Right. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to start at this edge this time because of this corner, okay? So I've got my arrow at the top there. So I know this needs to go to the top. This is my top edge. And this time I'm going to go this way. It doesn't matter which way you go. If you prefer to work, cut that short, by the way. But doesn't matter because I'm going to put a finished paper over the top. So don't panic if you cut it a little bit short. So make sure my arrow's at the top. 50 mm to the corner. Now this is what's called butting up, okay? So I'm just touching the two edges together like that. Again, let the fold go, just the same as the first bit. And I'm just butting the two pieces together. Now, you don't want a big gap, but you definitely don't want a lap. If it overlaps, you'll see it under your finished paper, okay? So if it's like that, that's too wide, all right? There's plenty of paste on there. Make sure it gets pushed up like that to the joint, okay? Right, it's in place now. As you're smoothing it, sometimes that moves as well, so just be aware. I'm going to smooth that bit out. Into the corners, like I did before. Keep checking that joint. Push it up with your smoothing brush. It moves quite easy. If it doesn't move easy, that means you haven't got enough paste on the paper. You've under-pasted it. Right. Tuck it into that top edge. Like that. Now this bit is where we're going to have to do a different type of cut. And the reason is it's a point, okay? When joiners make the skirting, they use this angle, okay, for the point. You're going to use that as a guide. You're going to put your finger at the top. If you want, you can do it with a pencil. You want to know where my pencil is? But you can put a pencil there, okay? Then you use the mitre as a guide for which way to cut. cut to that corner. Then I can put that piece in and I can put that piece in. So that's released it and I can put it down. Same for your internals. So like that, into there. This one here. So you're not going to get them to go straight into the corner unless you cut to that point. Right. So that's all on. So I better find my pencil. Thought I brought it. Nope. There it is. There it is. So again, that wall's not papered, so I can go around the corner. The skirting, I can't go on top of that, so I need to go right into it. So I've gone round the corner, a few mil on that wall. Skirting, that's already painted. I don't need to overlap onto it. So I'm going right in. And what I'm doing is I'm doing it all the way along here. All right, so, but if I'd have left all that excess on and not cut it off, that would have been all of the skirting, all of the dust sheets. Remember this corner, right into the corner. And then we'll start trimming again. And it's as easy as that. So, straight up. One side. Make sure you always use your sponge and your water. If your water's starting to get a little bit pasty, make sure you change it, just like when you're stripping wallpaper. That's that edge done. And this bit here, don't worry about taking it away from the wall. You need to take it away from the wall to be able to cut it. But just be careful that you don't tear it there. But if you do, don't worry, okay? If you take it off, you've got your outline there of where to cut. So I'm going to start with that bit because that's the easiest bit. Triangle, stick it on there. Sometimes you can use the pencil line or the crease. Okay, you've got a crease there, so sometimes you can use that. But she is nice and wide. Point towards the pencil line. Always fold up your bits. You will get into the habit of doing that. So sometimes you can just use the back. Yeah. Now this bit here, depending on whether you prefer to work right to left or left to right, just take the whole piece away like that, and then I'm going to take that. It's not going to go anywhere, all right, no matter how much you take off, unless you take the lot off. And then you're going to trim right on that line. Because I'm going to put a finished paper on top of this, I don't have to cut it right to the edge. I could leave it slightly short, so that's why I'm not worried about that bit there. I won't put a piece in. But if I was going to paint this wall, it would need to be absolutely spot on. So shears. One thing with your shears as well, make sure you wipe them regular. If you don't, they'll become really pasty and they won't cut as neat. And also when you put them back in your toolbox or whatever, they'll just stick together. Let's put it there. Obviously fold it up now. I've got a nice little pile of trimmings there. They're not all over the place. They're not going to be a hazard. And then I'm going to go all the way around and give it all a really good wipe. You see it's slightly short there, but I'm not worried. I'd rather have it short than too long because I don't want to see it under my finished paper. That's that. One last rinse. Check the door frame that you've not got any on there. You might even have some on the joint. If you're going to paint it, you want to get that paste off that joint as well. Like that. And that's how you line a plain wall.